sit us around the fire and tell us stories. So every time I hear the sound of the kalimba, I remember grandma, I remember my cousins, I remember my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, the whole family will be sitting around this fire. And grandma would tell stories. And she would begin by saying, Kwasuka sukela. Can everybody say that with me? Kwasuka sukela. Everybody one more time. Kwasuka sukela. Kwasuka sukela means in the beginning of creation. When Creator created everything, great and small, there was a great king. This king was as brave as a lion, as strong as an ox. And his name was called King Pekinkosi, meaning he who takes care of himself only. And King Pekinkosi was as strong as an ox, but had no common sense. So one day he said to his beloved wife, Queen Nobushi, the most beautiful queen in the region, the most gentle, loving, generous woman in the whole nation. He said, wife of my life, we are prosperous, we have won any little wars, any little fights with our neighbors, but we have one great problem. And the problem is that we do not have a baby son. And the queen said, what about our 4 daughters? Are you kidding me? And the king said, no. One day they'll be married off. And what happens to the kingdom? And the queen said, remember that sometimes our wishes surpasses our faith. And a year later, Queen Nobushi gave birth to a child who was born a dwarf. Nevertheless, because she was so loving, she loved the baby, the boy so much that she dressed him up in the most beautiful, colorful clothes, loved the child just like any parent would love their children. And one day, it was time to go introduce the son to the king. To her surprise, her husband mocked their child and said, what's this? A dwarf? Do you think my kingdom will be taken over by a dwarf? Are you alright, queen? And the queen got angry for the first time ever. And she said, this is it. You never looked upon our child and mock him like this. The queen took the son back to her queendom and continued loving the son forever. And one day, it was the king's daughter's eldest wedding when the king requested that the dwarf mustn't show up. He had to stay with